Guys, I don't know what's going on, but my phone keeps shutting down. So I just moved to a different place. Let's see if it was the reception. Anyway, I told you in problem number 5, the GCF is going to be 4, okay? It's not 12. So doesn't ever work, not all the time works when the smallest number is the GCF. Sometimes you have to look for it. So the GCF here is 4. And when I divide by 4, this is what I got. The 4 will remain outside, and when I divide everything by 4, I end up with 5y to the 4th minus 16y squared plus 3. Now remember, because this one is greater than 1, I have to use the AC. So my AC is 15. That's the multiplication of 5 times 3 equals 15. Now I'm going to do my two set of parentheses, all right? And you always keep the leading coefficient in both parentheses, all right? So I start with 5 and 5. Then because it's y to the 4th, I divided by 2, and I have y squared and y squared. Now, because the last one is positive, both bubbles are taking the middle term sign. So they're both going to be negative. And you ask yourself, two numbers that when you multiply them will give you 15, and when you add them will give you 16. Okay? Obviously, it's 15 times 1. Because 15 times 1 is 15, and 15 plus 1 is 16. Now, the GCF here is going to be 5. Okay? So now, you're going to keep the 4 because of the GCF from the whole trinomial, and you will have y squared minus 3, and you're going to bring down the other one because the GCF for this set of parentheses is 1. And any number divided by 1 is always going to be 1. Now, number 6. GCF here is going to be a negative number. Why? Because the leading coefficient is negative, and you don't want that to be negative. It's something you have to remember. The leading coefficient cannot be negative. So here the GCF, I think also is going to be, I think it's going to be 4 too. Okay. No, because 46 divided by 4 is 23, and 23 is not even, so it's going to be 2. The GCF is going to be negative 2. Because 46 divided by negative 2 is going to be 23, and 23 is a prime number. So if I divide everything by negative 2, okay, the negative 2 is going to remain outside. And what do I get when I simplify? Negative 24 divided by negative 2 is going to give you positive 4x squared. Negative 46 divided by negative 2 is going to give you negative 23x. And negative 20 divided by negative 2 is going to give you positive 10, okay? Now, your binomial, your AC here is going to be 12 times 10, all right? Which give you 120. So that's going to be your AC, 120. Now, let's keep our GCF, and let's open our two sets of parentheses. And because the last one is positive, right? So we're going to need equal sign. So they're both going to be negative. So I'm going to keep my 12x minus 12x minus. And two numbers that when I multiply them together and add them up will give me 23. I think it's 20, no. 18. I have to look for this because I'm not sure myself what's going to be the GCF. But 15 times 15 times 10 is 150. 15 times 8. 15 times 8, I think it is, yes, 15 times 8. Let me just double check, all right, just to make sure I'm right. Hold on, let me get my calculator. 15 times 8 is... Yeah. Yes, kids, I just went to get my calculator to make sure I got the right factors, and that's what it is. 15 times 8, okay? And 15 plus 8 is 23. Now here, both bubbles have GCF. So the GCF here is going to be 3. And the GCF here, I think, is 4. So I'm going to keep my negative 2. And when I divide this out, I get 4x minus 5 and 3x minus 2. It's a little more complicated, guys, but it's something that, okay, you have to know. Next to GCF, remember, the leading coefficient is negative, so your GCF has to be negative. Muchachos, cuando el primer término, como en este caso, los coeficientes líderes son negativos, el GCF tiene que ser un número negativo, ¿ok? So, en este caso, por eso es que era negativo 2 y aquí también va a ser negativo, porque el coeficiente líder no puede ser negativo. So the GCF of 6, 2, and 4 is going to be 2. So it's going to be 2, negative 2, and also they all have x's. So it's going to be negative 2x because that the x with the smallest exponents, okay? So I'm going to divide everything by negative 2x, okay? So I'm going to keep my GCF out. And when I divide this out, it becomes positive 3x squared because 3 minus 1 is 2. Minus just x because 2 divided by 2 is 1, but I still going to have 1x. Minus 2 because those x cancels out. Again, AC. The AC is going to be negative 6. Okay, because 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So because this is negative, you're going to have different signs, okay? And you're going to have a minus and a plus. Every time the AC or the new C is negative, you need different signs. Don't forget that. And I'm going to keep my leading coefficient, my 3x and my 3x. And I think we've done this before. That's going to be minus 3 and plus 2. Because negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. So the only one that has GCF is this one. So I'm going to keep my negative 2x. That becomes x minus 1, and that's going to remain the same. All right? One more, and we call it for the day. GCF is not 6 because you cannot divide 15 by 6, although you can divide 36, but again, you have to divide all 3 numbers. So I think the GCF is going to be 3. All right? So if I divide by 3, I'm going to keep my GCF outside the parentheses, and I will have 2x to the 4th power minus 5x squared minus 12. Now I need the AC. 2 times negative 12 is going to give you negative 24. And because you have negative value of C, you need different signs, 1 minus and 1 plus. You're still going to keep the 2, all right? But remember, because this is to the 4th power, that has to be square, okay? And now, 2 factors of 24, then when you subtract them will give you 5. It's going to be 8 and 3. Don't forget this, all right? And the only one that has GCF is this one. So when we simplify, we have x squared minus 4, and we're just going to keep that one because the GCF for that bubble is 1. So guys, this is it. We have one more day, tomorrow Wednesday, and after that, you will be either happy because you passed summer school, or you can be sad, or probably you won't even care about it if you fail, all right? But I'm really, really happy for those kids who actually stay with me the whole time, all right, until the end, and you're gonna get your rewards, okay, guys? So tomorrow is gonna be the last day, and by tomorrow I should know who's passing, who's not, okay? So I'll see you tomorrow, and have a nice day.